Hey, and welcome back to another video by Brad Tragic here. And, I did all my series except for this one, but I hadn't gone around to do it. And I actually, will tell you the truth, I honestly had a good FBA video already recorded out. But Spreaker is the way to go, really, with getting videos quickly out there. And from just doing the audio version, that's that's only what I can do right now. Spreaker is the way to go. And so I had a video I had to strip down and do all that jazz. And ended up doing a lot more to it. This ended up being the faster way. So let's get something happened. Let's get all that out of the way. And so that's basically why. It's been a while. I haven't put any buying and selling videos up for a while. But I did do the Brad Tragic TVs for a couple episodes, I know. And I did Total Wrestling Madness 1, and those will continue. So this is the third series I'm doing, and this is basically all the series I'm going to do. There may be some random topic videos I do, but this is that I'll actually do videos on. But the audio things I'm going to do is going to center around these three topics: buying and selling, wrestling, and just random stuff. But this is a buying and selling video, so let's get right down to it. Let's talk about FBA for a moment, because and I'm going to be honest, and I'm going to be straightforward, and I'm going to say that I'm not in it yet. I'm not in it. I've been listening to a lot of YouTube videos, and I feel very, very proud that when the time comes, I will be ready. But I wanted to give some tips out there which I think are correct, and I want to put it out there that I did a lot of research, so come time when I have the money, I'm going to be ready to bust it out, and I'm going to be ready to go. And I know some people out there may go, well, you don't have everything set up yet. I don't even have the supplies. So, but let me tell you what you do have to get started. You must have an Amazon account to get started. I mean, that's just a given. If you already have an Amazon, buyer account, it's real easy to do. And just, if you find an item to sell, go ahead and just hit the sell button, and that'll automatically set it up for you, to be quite honest. And then you'll go in and say, and then I think you'll have to go through a bunch of setup. I don't remember. I know that I did it a while back, and I didn't know you could sell a bunch of items on it. I didn't know if there was any limit, and I didn't really think anything about it. But now looking back at it, I'm like, man, I don't know why I didn't do this a long time ago. I don't know why I didn't look into this. We've had money last year. I could have jumped into this if I knew it was going to be this profitable. And this year's been a very, very bad year for me, to be quite honest. So let me get into what you should be doing. And the thing is, I'm not a dumb guy, but it's just, this thing has been staring in my face for I don't know how long. And I haven't used the tools that were right in front of me to do this. And it really, really, it pains me to know that this has been sitting right in front of me. And I'm a great person to go out and find stuff very unique and pick stuff out. And I've heard a lot of people on YouTube say, if you use Profit Bandit, which is an application that you use to, you go out there, you scan things, it'll tell you the profit you're going to make on Amazon. And I've heard a lot of people say that if they don't have this, they can't make money. They have a hard time doing this. And some stuff, I understand. Yeah, you're going to have a hard hell of a time, picking out something that is going to be profitable. But the other side of that is, the way that I've been telling a lot of people, dealing with eBay is, you're not always going to have that barcode scanner. You're not always going to know, you're not always going to have that tool sometimes with you. If you happen to forget your phone at home one day and you're out with maybe your, in-laws somewhere, and you come across an item clearance that, it's just too easy to pass up. If it's a 25-cent item of, I don't know, like a DVD, and not 25 cents, but if you find across a DVD like $1 at a flea market, and you look at the disc, and you're looking at a couple of them, and they're in good condition, and then you get to the point to where you're looking at a bunch of them and they're in good shape. Why would you pass that up even though you're out with your family? I'd be like, okay, hold on. Let me call up the wife and say, okay, I'm going to go ahead and buy this, and then I'm going to pay myself back later with the funds I have, set aside. That's what I would probably do. Because you don't ever want to be in a situation where you're going to lose money just because you didn't have a stupid scanner with you, And that's my whole take on that. And some people may think, I'm just doing this because I don't have a scanner and all this other jazz. And really, I don't, to be quite honest. We just got a smartphone probably like a week ago, to be quite honest. And the way it's probably going to work is sometimes I might have it, sometimes I might not have it. If my wife's busy and she's out, she's probably going to want to take it with her. I'm going to have to be able to deal with that. And the other side of that is, with eBay, it's definitely something you could do without. Amazon is kind of the other way where you kind of might need it, but you kind of, you do, but you don't, because you could still go and some people, maybe they just don't even want to try and learn, what's going to make money and what's not. But, I think there is a side view to that, into after you do it for a while, you're going to know what to pick up and what not to pick up. And, whether it's going to make $1 or it's going to make $5 or it's going to make $20, you're going to know that it's profitable, that people want that item. You're going to flip it eventually, down the road. So you're going to know to pick that item up. And you may get it, and it used to be a $7 profit item, and you get it home and you find out that it's only like $1 or $2 profit item. It's like, well, okay, that's great, but at least you know that you're going to pick a profit. You get it. You get it home, and you made some money off of it. And because you had a smart decision, because you sold it in the past, or you just, you just know your stuff, And that's the thing you got to do. And if you want to know more about that kind of stuff, definitely check out my other videos where I talk about buying and selling in different niches and things like that, because that's really what you have to do. You got to train yourself. You've got to learn more about the products. And the more you learn about the products, the more you're going to be able to go into a store and say, hey, can I sell this? What kind of a bin is it in? Is it a dump bin? And is there like 10 of the same DVD? Probably not a good idea to pick it up. There could be if you have a barcode scanner and if you scan it, if something's in a dump bin, maybe it's worth it. Maybe not. But more likely, if you see something that's, in my opinion, if you see something that's in a bin that, and I'm not really talking about, I know people were thinking, like, you're probably talking about the $5 bin at Walmart. No, it's not a good idea. No. But even in some of those cases, I would say no, because you're wrong. Because I seen a few weeks ago, it wasn't a few weeks ago, a couple months ago, I seen they had a couple WWE pay-per-views in the dump bin. Can I repeat that? Wrestling pay-per-views on DVD in the dump bin. That being said, the DVDs, there was like 3 or 4 I seen in there. Wrestling DVDs. So let me just kind of put this out there. If you're not a wrestling fan and you don't understand how the wrestling now the WWE Network is out, some things are going to change about that. But still, I don't know. Like, I think the DVD market for WWE is going to fall under. But before the WWE Network was announced, which was when I found these DVDs. This was before the WWE Network, so it's been about 3 or 4 months ago. But I believe it was last year's Elimination Chamber DVD. I think that's what it was. And it was in the dump bin. And I looked on the matches. The matches were horrendous. So nobody would probably want it. If they were just going by the dump bin, no, nobody's going to want it. But if somebody is, like, looking to complete their collection of, wrestling DVDs, they're going to want that. And the thing about it is, if you don't understand how a wrestling fan works, they are just like collectors out there. They always want to collect everything to do with, wrestling. There's people out there who, they don't care if it's the crappiest matches on the card. If they don't have that pay-per-view, they want to complete that collection and they want to get that. So, to kind of see something for maybe, I don't know, like, it's really hard to tell. Like I said, it's really hard to tell unless you've done your homework. Unless you know certain items, you have to been around the block. And if you don't have that, and if you have a barcode scanner, then that's the best way to go. Get Profit Bandit. But the thing is, like I was saying in the other past videos and things like that, in the buying and selling videos, is that sometimes you're not going to have that there. So you've got to train yourself. Eventually, you're going to have to learn about your products, and you're going to have to learn somewhat to deal with that sometimes. Because if you're out and about, like I said, if you come across something that's a good deal, and you know it's a good deal, then you're going to be able to jump on that, and you're going to be able to make profit out of it. And I'm talking mainly, the food and stuff like that, the expiration date, that kind of stuff, like the food and candy and things like that, that you're going to buy and flip. Kind of the retail items, yeah, you're going to have a barcode scanner for that. Unless it's something that that you've dealt with, like within the past few months, and you just happen to see, that's on sale somewhere, like, that's the other, maybe an option, but usually that kind of stuff, yeah, you're going to have a barcode scanner for that. But I'm talking about stuff where, like, you see, like, I don't even know, like, a good example, but, like, certain things, like, if they're on, like, drastically dropped in price, or you go to a flea market and you see something drastically, like, I know I can make money on that, because you've dealt with that product in the past, or you've dealt with something like in the past, where you can take a chance on it and probably make your money back, 3 or 4 or 5 times the amount you put into it. So, that I think you just got to show yourself and train yourself that way. I also want to tell you, if you're getting into this, and if you've never sold on Amazon, if you're even just buying and selling online, a newbie, I've really been reaching out. And the whole reason why I started doing these videos was because one person that I used to work with reached out. She didn't really, okay, let me take that back. She didn't really reach out at all. She mentioned something about, I think, selling on eBay, and she basically asked a couple questions. And I saw that as kind of like an opening. I'm like, well, if she's wanting to do this, and the economy's really, really bad right now, and I'm seeing a lot of YouTube videos out there, but they're missing some of the key ingredients. Like, they're not explaining about, different, niches and things like that. They're not going into detail. They're not really giving you, all the details that you probably need to go into detail. So that's why I started doing these videos. And if you're new out there, if you're thinking like, I went through my house, I've sold everything in my house, but I still want to do this, where do I go get my stuff, And I think there's a lot of different things to start with. But I wanted to give some outline, some places to go, and kind of like, when you start, you don't have a very big, unless you have a lot of money. Like, somebody gave you, like, $10,000 to start this business, to start doing this for a living. You're going to start small. You're going to probably start with probably $100, and that's what you're going to have to start with. So when you start small like that, you're going to have to get your stuff, and you're going to have to keep on doubling your money, until you're, until you see a lot of profit margin, build up your bankroll, basically. And with that, I kind of want to start, and I want to say something about that as well, is that you're going to have to build up your bankroll, because if you start small, and you got $100, let's say $100, for example, and you're like, okay, I'm going to start with 100, and I'm going to flip this, and it doesn't give you a lot to work with, but it starts somewhere, and you're probably not going to make much money off that $100, I'll be quite honest. But what you want to do is start putting aside, like, so much money, a paycheck, even if it's $5 or $10, to go out and get just a few items and kind of build it up. And then once you get enough to send in your package to FBA, you can do that. Or, maybe you're just buying stuff to flip on eBay right now, to get some of the cash up so that you can start FBA. There's things like that as well. But what you want to start, and I'm going to give you, I think I came up with, the other day I was in the car thinking about what locations I could say for both sides of it, and I'm going to give you some places to start. I'm just going to give you some places. I was going to give you a certain amount, but these are the places that you want to start when you're first starting to do FBA, when you're first starting to do eBay. The first places you want to start with is basically, I would start with, is the low, rundown thrift stores in your area. And I know a lot of people are saying, wouldn't the first one be Goodwill? No, and I'm going to tell you why. Because Goodwill, sometimes, they overprice some of their products, and everything's $1, everything's more than $1. Hardly anything is less than $1, and if it is, it's not something you want to sell usually on Amazon. You may get a few things here and there, and you have to go on certain days and things like that. If you go to like a Salvation Army or a place like that, the prices are usually really, really reasonable because they're not doing it they want to make money, but they don't, as long as they're getting some money for the donation that the person brought that item in for to get something. I think I totally just messed up what I was trying to say. As long as they get some money for the item that was donated to them, there we go, that's what I was trying to say. They're not going to be killing themselves over it, So, that's what I'm trying to express. So, with that being said, you want to go there first, because sometimes you can get a lot of books. They may not be the best books, but somewhere to start, and you may find some good stuff, and maybe if you have a barcode scanner, it's somewhere to start, because usually they're not going to pay attention to, most of the time they're not going to pay attention to you. They're going to be, stocking the shelves and things like that, so maybe somewhere to start that no one's going to bug you about things and, such like that. The second place I would probably say is, definitely check out Goodwill. That's your second stop. I would say Goodwill is your second stop, because you can find some good stuff. And if you're talking about eBay, you can do clothes. You can get clothes, make some good money. Toys, things like that. Toys, you can even go Amazon sometimes today. Look for books and things like that at Goodwill. It's just, seeing a lower price item and knowing you can sell it on Amazon, that's what you just have to know. If you see something with a barcode, more or less, you're going to be able to sell it on Amazon, and it's going to be on there, somewhere. You don't know how much it's going to be worth, but whatever. And a lot of places a lot of times I don't go, when I went and I didn't have a barcode scanner, I'm looking there and it's like, I want to get some stuff for Amazon. This is what the whole point of going out that day was. And I think I came home with about 6 or 7, I think I came home with 6 items. I came home with 4 books, and 2 video games. I think that's what I came home with. I bought a Nintendo game and a Game Boy Color game at Goodwill, and I bought, I think I got more. I think I got about 5 books, actually. I think I came home with about 9 items or something like that. I think I got 2 smaller hardback books at Goodwill, which I think I paid, anywhere from $1 to around $1.49. I think I paid $1 for one, $1.49 for another one. I got a comic book for $1. Didn't really make much. I think I got it for like a quarter or 50 cents. I know I'm not going to really make that much money off of that one, but like I said, I didn't know. It was Star Wars, so I tried it out. I got one. They actually had about 5 copies in Goodwill at the time, but I got one to see if it was going for anything on Amazon. Because I'd have kind of this experience about finding things on Amazon from comic books that are worth some money in other, types of, I guess, well-known characters for kids and adults and things. So that's why I thought, well, Star Wars might be good. So I tried that out. And the 2 hardback books I got was, basically, it's in the non-fiction area, the religious section area, and these were actually older kids books. One was from the late 50s, another one's from the early 70s, and they sold. They both of them eventually sold, and it was awesome. And I made like $4 off another, and I think 5 something off another one. That's how much I think they sold for. So it wasn't much of a profit, but it was a start to say, hey, I'm not dumb. I picked up 2 books, and the other books, I sold another one on Amazon the other day. It took me a while to get out because they picked me at the wrong time to get something shipped out. I didn't have much money to my name, so they had to kind of wait a week or so on Amazon, and that's not very good. Yeah, you always want to ship your items out promptly. But yeah, I picked out that, and the other ones was from like a flea market type thing. So flea markets are probably your third stop. If you're you go to Goodwill and you got a few items, but you're not really satisfied, you want to try out a flea market, go to the flea market. Flea market's going to be few and far between. You're not going to find very much stuff probably there that you can flip for money on Amazon. eBay, maybe. Look for some of the cheaper, places in the flea market. See, And you know who they are. You know, if you continue to go to the same flea market, you'll learn who to go to and who not to go to. Because some people will price their items way high because they want that eBay money or they want that Amazon money that people keep telling them about. But they're not going to get it because it's not eBay and it's not Amazon. So you'll just have to continue to ignore them and continue to buy from other people until, you know, maybe you see that person not there anymore or somebody else comes in or they start to lower their prices. Whoa, something entered me. What it was. And then after that, you know, if you're dealing with FBA, you know, maybe look at the discount stores, you know, and try your hand at a little bit of some, you know, some, I guess, non-perishable food, and kind of try and start diving into that a little bit, because if you start at like Dollar Generals, Family Dollars, Dollar Tree, you might be able to kind of dive into that a little bit and start doing that. And even some of the other stuff, like the non-food stuff, like I know I looked into some kind of pens, you know, office stuff, you know, maybe some craft items there would actually sell well on Amazon. I don't know what people have listed on Amazon already, or what you could list on Amazon, or sell merchant fulfilled, but you know, it would be a good thing to start doing something like that, and then, you know, then you're set, dude. I mean, if you, once you start doing some stuff, you know, and then, you know, make money off of it, it's going to be boundless. You know, you're going to continue to make money. You know, once you start, you know, seeing profit and start flipping it for other stuff that's worth more money, you're definitely going to see, you know, a lot of profit come back. And it's just going to take time. I mean, you're not going to make money overnight. And you know, I watch a lot of people online. Global Voodoo, great guy, or you know, he does great videos. I don't know him personally. Picking Profits. That guy, he's really good. Some of the other guys I like Raking Profit. I like College Picker. You know, I like Picking Profits. A lot of their stuff doesn't gear toward me because I'm not selling on eBay currently. But definitely go out there, watch more YouTube videos. You know, you maybe think I'm full of crap, but you know, take my advice, because I'm not stupid. I have been around the block. Maybe I'm not an avid, you know, Amazon seller. Maybe I'm not an avid eBay seller. But I have sold in the past, and I do know, you know, you need to watch what you're doing, and you still got to educate yourselves on the products that you're selling, because that is one big major thing that I never heard anybody hardly say in his YouTube videos, and something that's definitely something you have to do. You know, if you're selling a book and you sell it over and over and over again, the same author, then, you know, eventually it's going to have to click with you. Hey, this author is a hot seller. Anything he ever has, it always blows off the Amazon shelf, or it always sells like automatically or within like a month or two, you know. So anytime you see the author, you should probably pick it up, you know. It's just things like that. You have to educate yourself on it. So definitely with that. I mean, after you get enough bankroll up, you know, then you can start looking at retail arbitrage like really, really heavily. And, you know, but until then, you're going to have to start small. You're going to have to start hitting yard sales. That's another option. You know, yard sales, church sales, those kind of go together. Auctions may be a good idea, because you can sometimes get things for cheap there. You know, pay $10, you know, get a box of crap that you can see what's in it, and, you know, put on Amazon if it's anything worth it. That, or, you know, put on eBay if you find something kind of weird and funky. There's other sites too out there, you know, Bonanza, Etsy, Listia, Store Envy, eBid. You know, there's other things you can try out, and you know, and I'm definitely going to be doing reviews on websites here soon to tell you a little bit about everyone. That may be another video I do possibly tomorrow. Kind of running out of things to talk about here at the end. I got about 6 minutes left. Definitely shoot your comments to me, and anything you want to know about buying and selling, if I can answer them, which I've been listening to a lot of YouTube videos, so I could probably steal their answers and probably tell you who gave them to me through videos I've watched, and give credits to them. But I watch a lot of people. I watch Resale Renegade, I watch Picking Profits, Global Voodoo, Raking Profit, sometimes, College Picker sometimes. Who else do I watch? Zero Fats Returns. I'm blanking on a lot of the names. There's just a lot of people out there that you can definitely check out, and check them out. And definitely leave comments down below. Who's your favorite, YouTuber that does videos? Who do you think's the best? Because I think they're all great. I really think that all of them bring a lot to the table. And there's some people who, you find their videos and it's like, well, they haven't made a video in like a year or 2 years, and it's like they still got some great information out there though. And it's kind of like, I'm doing this video right now, and 3 years from now, somebody may find this video and say he's got some great information, but why isn't he making videos anymore? Could it be because maybe I'm too busy making money because I just started FBA 3 years ago and I made a bunch of money, or I could have died in a fiery plane crash. You never know. So people leave their legacies behind on YouTube. They leave their videos behind, and it's kind of like posting pictures online. Those pictures are going to last forever, probably for the most part, unless a website crashes or something like that. But I just want to leave a good impression with FBA and buying and selling, and that, I hear so many people saying that you can make a living doing it, you can make a living doing it. But I do want to put this last bit of information is, do not quit your job thinking you're going to make $1 billion, buying and reselling, that it's going to happen right away. It's not going to happen right away. You're going to have to keep your job. You're going to have to do it on the, weekdays and things like that, Eventually, if it gets maybe good money, maybe you can start doing it part-time. Maybe you can, your buying and selling will take over as the full-time, and, your job becomes a part-time job. You'll be always going to have that money coming in. You always got to work that 9 to 5 sometimes to get up to that point. And I think some people I think still do it on the side, and they still make good money. They still work a 9 to 5 job, and then they still do this on top of this. So there's a lot to learn, I think. So just get out there, try it out, try eBay, try Amazon, and, let me know what you think. I think that it's so profitable to do FBA. I haven't jumped into it yet, but I could see the endless possibilities of what you could do with it. And I just know that other people out there are looking at it going, it's too much work, and they just turn away, shut the door. And other people like me and Global Voodoo and everything, we're probably like all in it going, okay, more for us. And other YouTubers, Thinking Profits, they're like, fine, more for us. The more you guys don't want to do it, the more we're going to jump into it and do it more. So, so definitely, if you're interested in doing it, don't let all the work put you down. Because I know I looked at it and I'm like, I know it's a lot of work starting out, but once you get everything set up and everything, FBA is it's not going to be that difficult. Once you get everything set in place, it's just going to be a system that you go through every time you get something to list, and things like that. And you don't always have to sell merchant fulfilled. You don't have to always sell FBA. You can sell merchant fulfilled as well. But I don't really have anything much else to say. So I'm coming to that 30-minute mark right here on Spreaker, and I want to make sure everybody knows Spreaker is an awesome place. If you're looking to do a podcast or whatever like that, it's so freaking easy. And I did find out the data that I wanted to know, and what you can do here on Spreaker. I love Spreaker, and I'm going to advertise the hell out of Spreaker. Is what you can do if you want to keep an audio, audience on Spreaker, you can do it. You can pay a fee, all this other jazz. But if you want to do it like I'm doing it, what I do is I do these live. I broadcast live. I only broadcast to Twitter. You can do it on Facebook if you want. I don't like everybody knowing that I do YouTube videos all the time. It's not that I'm embarrassed. I just don't want everybody to know that I do YouTube videos on Facebook. Because different people are on Facebook that I have on Twitter. Anyway. But I totally just lost my train of thought. What was I talking about? But on Spreaker here, you can do the audio show, broadcast it live. When you're done, you can actually, and you probably can do it on the mobile device too, I just haven't figured out how to do that. You go to Spreaker, and you go to, somehow, I think you go to edit details on the, edit details on the audio, and then you can go to, share on YouTube, and it'll go straight to YouTube. You can edit things on there. You can do whatever you want. After it gets uploaded to YouTube, after you've changed everything, make sure it's on YouTube. It's playing fine. Everything's going great. You can actually go back to Spreaker, delete this off of Spreaker, and continue to use Spreaker as kind of like your launching pad for the podcast. I mean, it's great. I love this. I'm actually on a tablet in my car recording this, and that's all I can do. I can go in here late. It's early in the morning. It's like 4 o'clock in the morning. I'm recording this, and it's going to go straight to Spreaker. It's going to go straight to YouTube when I go back inside. So it's great. So with that, I don't have nothing else to say. Hope you guys keep rocking. Start that buying and selling and see how much money you can make working from home and selling on Amazon or eBay. Keep rocking. This has been Brad Tragic.